So let's talk a little bit about shock and latch. So in the MEDUSA system, we have the formula of shock, latch, and stab, but we are not locked into that formula, shock, latch, and stab. We can shock and run. We can do so many different things. So the shock might be as far as I have to go. Now, we don't shock to distract. We shock to cause injury, and we shock to injure the throat, the eyes, the groin. We shock to do enough violence that if our shock works, we may not have to do more. So for instance, if this is a bad guy or an aggressive person, and I think that no matter how much bargaining I'm gonna do, or he goes and I get that foot coming back to bring power to a strike, or some other movement that tells me he's attacking, right? I would rather, if it's gonna go to violence, if it's gonna go to hands-on, I wanna hit first, because there's no guarantee that if he hits first, I'm gonna be able to recover from that. So anyone who tells you let them strike first, that's bad advice. But you don't always have the option of having that first strike. So let's just say that this formula is not gonna work every time, and sometimes you'll need good cover and good boxing skill. You'll need further skills to good counter grappling skills, all that kind of stuff, right? But if I manage to get the shock first, then I have to shock, reassess, shock, latch, reassess, shock, latch. And at that quick moment of reassessing, I will do what I think in that split second is the proper thing. So it might be like, if I'm thinking this guy's gonna use lethal force, could be that. Very rarely. I don't think that's ever gonna happen to me where that is appropriate use of force, but it could be get into a better position, right? Be still maybe attacking this guy, using him for a shield. It could be shock and run, right? So here, and then take off wherever I see safety, wherever I perceive safety to be. Right? Could be if I dump him on the ground, could be shock, slow him down and run. Or it could be shock and go to the next person. Shock and latch, right? This is a formula that's been used in combatives for a long time. Shock and attach, right? Grab the back of the head so that head can't move, right? And then I have to go reassess what I'm gonna do. If that first hit takes him to the ground, I knock him off his feet, I have to reassess. You can't just program one thing in and only do that. That moment of reassessment is the time that you may save yourself from further consequences coming, right? So if I'm here, this guy's onto me, I better also be looking around, because if this is criminal violence, these guys don't like to work alone if they don't have to. Right? And there, maybe I get my knife out and I'll be like, stay the fuck back or I'm gonna kill your friend, or, you know, using Michael Janich's formula, maybe I'll hack through the hamstring or the front of the quads and run. There's so many scenarios that we need to just use our imagination, use our knowledge of what violence looks like. Always be studying, always be understanding the nature of violence. Never just be satisfied with what you know right now. Always be looking to learn more. Find the right sources. Understand use of force law in your own country, in your own community. And base your self-defense or your combatives on that. And in the moment, have different scenarios in your head, different plans in your head, and be able to do that split-second problem solving where if you act, right? Now, if this guy's under control, I have to, if I've shocked him enough where maybe I can move on to the next person or run, or if I've trapped his arm and he's got a knife, then I might have to finish him if that's the situation. But like I said, very few people get into those situations, but some people do. If it isn't me, it could be one of my students. So I like to give as broad idea of what violence can be, and I spend my time researching what it looks like, what it is. I don't just stay stagnant in my skill sets and stagnant in my knowledge. So by always expanding, it gives you more tactics that you can use in that moment of reassessment. But shock, reassess. Shock, latch, reassess. That's all I'm saying. Thank you.